Oh, hello there. Live? Are we live? I believe it says we are live. The mic looks like it's working. It looks like everything's okay. What's up, guys? Welcome to Zach Milne Talks Live. Feels good to say those words again. Let me know how the audio is. Let me know how you guys doing? How's everyone doing? We got a bunch of people in here. Nathan's Random Movies, Luke Ponto, The View with Drew, Nerdy with Autism, Dakota Man Movies, Sully Streams. Sully Streams is in here. Kenny Sparks was in here earlier. So I'm back. I'm back, and it's so good to be with you guys again. I really appreciate just all you guys being here. As always, all you guys giving me your time to hang out and talk about some movies. Obviously, I haven't done this in a little bit. I expect to be a little bit rusty. Also, it just so happens that the morning that I am going to go live, or the morning of the day that I'm about to go live for like the first time in a couple months, I have a slight head cold. So that's great. That worked out well. But I'm here. No head cold can keep me away from your beautiful faces. Also, of course, technical difficulties have happened. Somewhere along the way, I lost my feature that allows me to click on chats and bring them into the screen. And I just found out about this 3 minutes ago. So that's great. But we're off and rolling. We're off to a great start. Zach, where you been? What's been happening? Thanks for asking. I appreciate that. Well, you guys know I had a baby. I went and had a baby. More specifically, my wife went and had a baby. I was there. It was an experience. But I just tried to stay out of the way. But anyways, aside from that, had a kid, been living that dad life, which is exhausting. It's so tiring, but so much fun. But it did require me, at least I felt, and I feel like it was the right decision, to take a step back from doing the live shows and put in a bunch of time and energy into that when I have a little one and a wife that need me at home. Just want to double check, make sure everything's going all right with the audio. No one has said, not a single person has said that the audio is not working. So that's usually the biggest hurdle, and it looks like we got over it. So that's perfect. Also, I've been doing some ventures of my own. See if I can pull this up here. I started a podcast with a friend who is a childhood friend. We've been doing some podcasts in our local city here. Nope, can't pull this up. But that's been fun. It's also been taking some of my time away from other things. But regardless of all that, we are back. And Dakota Man Movies in the chat here. First of all, thank you everybody who's in the chat here. Again, it's going to be maybe a little bit rusty coming back to the stream. And trust me, I know you guys have questions about the show. And we're definitely going to talk about all of that and what's going on with the channel and all that kind of fun stuff. While we also have a live Q&A community night. And I love these. I've missed these, getting to just sit and talk with you guys. You guys hurdle all these Q's at me. I throw the A's back. It's always a great time. But I see that Dakota Man Movies in here, which, by the way, thank you for being here, Dakota. I just clicked on it when I can't put it on the screen, so there's no point on clicking on it. I apologize about that, by the way, guys. But Dakota Man Movies in the chat here is asking, are you back weekly? That's a great question, Dakota. At the moment, no. Not back weekly, but back regularly. I had a bunch of discussions with my wife, especially over the last couple months here, about going live and what that kind of looks like, and also what that looks like for me, because inevitably, and I promise we'll get to the movie talk, but we will get to all your questions and all the movies talks, and I promise we'll get there. But just to let you guys in on what's kind of going on with the show, obviously the commitment to family and stuff like that is more than it was before when I was doing the show, and there is a real sense of loyalty with me when it comes to commitments. And I just don't really want to put that on myself to say like every single Wednesday I'm gonna go live, because that was a big thing with me when we did the show previously, where it was like so much prep and so much work went into the live shows. I hardly ever canceled a Wednesday unless I was sick or something like really was going on that I needed to be there for and have priority over the live show. But other than that, I was like, Wednesday, friends wanted to hang out, can't, got the show. Family invited me over, can't, got the show. Like, I was very committed because I felt like I made a promise to do the show every Wednesday. And with now having a son and more family events and all that kind of stuff coming up, I just don't want to have that commitment. I just don't want to be like, oh, I feel like I can't because it's Wednesday and I promised I would do a show. So what I think that kind of looks like, and what I was talking about with my wife, is that the show is going to be more regular. I do feel like I'm going to be I'm stepping back into the door, basically putting my toe in the water, so to speak. So there's possibly a possibility that it'll be every other Wednesday, or it'll be, a couple Wednesdays in a month. It might even pop up on a Thursday. It might pop up on a Saturday. It's not going to be super just that specific day commitment. I will give notice and I will promote, kind of like I did today, when the show will be, obviously airing and when we're going to come and do this. Also, the way that we did the show previously with the topics and everything in between, I'm going to take a step back from that for now, and we're just basically going to do live Q&A community nights for the next little bit. I just want to chat. I just want to have fun, talk about movies with you in the chat, take your cues, give you my A's. That's what I really want to do with this. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit of growing pains getting back into the show, but I can say I'm back. I will be on the live stream, on the show, a little bit more regularly going forward. And it may build up that I do the show again every single Wednesday. I don't know. At the moment, the podcast that I'm doing with my friend requires me to be away in the evenings every other Wednesday. So for at least until the end of November, it won't be every Wednesday, but you're going to be seeing my face live popping up a little bit more, and it's going to look a little bit different, but also feel a little bit familiar. So that's the best answer I can give you right now, is that it's not weekly, but we're back. We're back, and I'm excited. All right. With that said, guys, let's get into the most important point of what this whole show is about, and that's you guys giving me questions, us conversing, talking, having a fun time. So let's see what you guys got to say. And one more check to make sure the audio is all good. And I look like it's all good. Okay. Let's kick this off with, again, Dakota Man Movies. The King finally returns. How's it been? Well, thank you very much, Dakota, for that. And it's been great. I'm very tired. Not as tired as my wife, and I need to make that clear. My wife is amazing. She's an amazing mother, and obviously I couldn't do it without her. But she definitely she takes the bulk of it, and as tired as I am, she is so much more tired and so much stronger than I am too. So we're doing really, really well. The boy is healthy. He's doing great. He's 8 months now, which I absolutely can't believe. But yeah, he's growing strong. He's getting a little bit more independent. He doesn't need to be held and carried all the time anymore, which is really nice. He started crawling the other day, which has been amazing. So life is busy, life is chaotic, but life is good. It's so good, and I've been great. How you been, Dakota? I want to hear from you. Let's see here. Sully Streams, let's go. Been waiting for this. You and me both, man. You and me both. Just been waiting for the right time. And is it the right time? I think it's right. Kenny Sparks, what's going on, Kenny? He says he's back. I'm back. I've made it. I'm sorry. It probably bothers you guys too. I'm looking the opposite way of where the chat is. By the way, I have this set up. We will definitely. We'll improve. We'll improve. Again, we're just rolling back into it, dipping our toe in the water. Jay Pylon is in here. Again, I clicked on it. Jay Pylon is in here. What's going on, Jay? Thanks for joining us. He says hi all. He says the thumbs up. Thank you so much, Jay. I always appreciate the support with that. Nerdy with Autism. What's going on, dude? Thank you so much for being here and joining us. He says, what movies that are considered bad but you like them? What movies are considered bad but you like them? I guess, like, it's hard because you can go the nostalgia route with that. Like, a lot of people, and we've talked about this before, a lot of people consider like High School Musical to be bad films. especially if you didn't grow up with them. I did grow up with them. I think they're good movies. I think they're great movies. I think they're great movies. There's also the route of so bad they're good, but off the top of my head, what's a movie that's bad that I what's a movie that is considered bad but you like them? So it's almost like a series of films that you're asking. Oh man, that's a good one. Yeah, no, that's a tricky one. I'm gonna have to. That's a thinker. That's a thinker. I'm gonna have to think on that one a little bit. I'm sure something will come into my mind once I get there. But yeah, everything is like nostalgic that's coming to. Dakota, my movie says we'll be a bit late, but we'll make it. He's back. Well, thank you so much, man, for being here. The Ace Avenue member for 18 months. You're still on the membership, man. I appreciate you so much for that, dude. You really didn't have to do that. As you can see here, it says no perks, just support, because I had no time to invest in memberships whatsoever. But you're still there, and I appreciate you so much, Ace. Good to see you here. Zach is back. What's going on, my friend? We've missed you. Hope you and the family are blessed, my friend. Dude, I've missed you too. I've missed all you guys. I obviously I've been doing like other more important stuff, been doing well with the family life, and we're all doing good. Thank you so much for asking, man. But yeah, no, I've missed this. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to get back on sooner, but it just wasn't the right time to get back on sooner, and it wasn't responsible to get back on sooner. But it feels like my wife and I have talked. We're in a good place for me to start getting back on. So this feels like the right time, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy. Can I just say, when I look in this chat and I see all your guys' names and faces that have been on the chat of Zach Milne Talks Live, some of you since it began, and we had a long hiatus there. We had a long time where the show was not like, even the fact that you're here now, even the fact that the first show back, so many of you guys showed up. It's at a different time, and I cannot tell you how it how grateful and just amazing it makes me feel. And I'm so glad to be here and so happy to have you guys with me. The View with Drew. What's going on, Drew? Mr. Man. He says, hey, everyone, what's up? Yeah, man, what's going on? Nerdy with Autism says, keep, watch, burn, The Die Hard, John Wick, and Lethal Weapon. This is pretty easy for me because I do prefer these franchises one over the other. The first I'm going to burn is Lethal Weapon. Full disclosure, I've only seen Lethal Weapon 1. I think I might have saw Lethal Weapon 2, but I definitely have seen the first one, but I haven't seen much more beyond that. So I've gone this long without watching them. I think I can burn them and be just fine. When it comes to Die Hard and John Wick, I love Die Hard and I love Die Hard with a Vengeance. Die Hard 2 is okay. Live Free Die Hard is okay. I don't think I've ever seen Good Day to Die Hard. Everyone just talked about how terrible it was. So I'm going to watch the Die Hard films, but I'm keeping the John Wick films. I love the John Wick films. I still haven't seen Ballerina. I still haven't gotten around to seeing Ballerina. I got to get on that. But I love John Wick 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm keeping the John Wick films. Nathan China Movies, what's going on, man? He says, hey, Zach, welcome back. Thank you so much for welcoming me back, man. Thank you for embracing me, and thank you for accepting me. I really appreciate that, Nathan. It's great to see you. My buddy Luke Ponto in here. Zach, my dude, hope you're well. Thank you so much, Luke. I hope you're well, too. And Luke Ponto did commission a video for a ranking of the Final Destination films, and that video, Luke, is done. It is in the can, and it's coming out on Friday. So thank you for that commission, man. And it will be out soon. The View with Drew says, I recently got the Blu-ray of Fantastic Four First Steps. I have to get that Blu-ray. I haven't gotten it yet. I got everything up to Thunderbolts of the MCU. It's all back there. But I honestly, it slipped my mind that Fantastic Four First Steps was coming on to Blu-ray here this soon. So maybe I'll head out tomorrow and grab that. I gotta snatch that up. Sully Streams, he's back in the chair, people. I'm back in the... I've been in this chair for regular videos, but yeah, being live, being here, it's happening. I'm here right now. This is real time. You're here right now, real time. There's just a different energy. There's just a different sense of fun to it. It's definitely great to be back in this chair. Jay Pylon says, I'm gonna see Back to the Future when it drops. I'm gonna see Back to the Future when it drops. When it drops where? Is it coming to your theater? If you haven't seen Back to the Future yet, which I'm pretty sure you have, Jay, you should check it out if you haven't. But I'm assuming you mean when it drops, it's coming. Oh, is it coming back to theaters? I think I might have heard somewhere that Back to the Future was coming back to theaters. I had the privilege of seeing Back to the Future in theaters in my town. I think back in like 2018, and that's one of my favorite movies, if not my favorite movie of all time. So that was a real treat seeing that on the big screen. So if you have the opportunity, man, to see that on the big screen, definitely take it. I'm happy for you because it's a great experience. And you might have seen it when it first came out. I don't remember how old you are, Jay. Nathan's Red Movie says, "What's your favorite song in K-pop Demon Hunters?" This is what it sounds like. That's Golden is up there too, but Golden is like on the radio so often that I not that I'm sick of it, but I just don't prefer it. But I have This Is What It Sounds Like saved on my phone in my favorites playlist. I listen to it. I was gonna say more often than I should admit, but it's a great song. I'm not ashamed. I listen to it a lot, and I blast those lyrics and I sing like the inner girl that I am inside. I don't know. Um, it's a very feminine song. It's very feminine lyrics, but you know what? I don't care. It's so catchy, and I blast that in my car. Jay Pylon says, "Oh, that's right. K-pop will be in cinemas this week too." Yep. I don't know if I'm getting it, but I'm fine with just watching it on Netflix. Here's the thing about K-pop Demon Hunters for me. I saw it on the verge of it becoming this phenomenon, which I'm not surprised it became this phenomenon, but it does kind of shock me just how everywhere it is. I thought the movie itself, the story, and the characters were all fine. I would actually say that K-pop Demon Hunters is a bit forgettable for me if it wasn't for the soundtrack. The music completely not saved the movie, but stole the show. The music from K-pop Demon Hunters is why I remember K-pop Demon Hunters. It's not the story. It's not really even the characters. It's the music, and it's so good. It's so good. Let's see. The View with Drew. Again, sorry guys, I can't bring your names up on screen. I gotta just kind of follow the chat. So if I miss you, I sincerely apologize. I'm really gonna try not to let that happen. The View with Drew says, "What superhero movie criticisms do you find the most hypocritical?" That's a really good question. The most hypocritical. You know what? It's funny because I think probably the most hypocritical criticism for a film, and I have used this, and in fact, I think I'm working on a video right now where I think I say this exact thing. Oh well, I'm just gonna keep. But this is hypocritical. It's when you complain that the movie is generic or that it's derivative of other stories, which I feel like even the best comic book films have tropes and things that they take from other comic book films. But if you like that movie, you don't really acknowledge that. But if you don't like the superhero movie, you kind of do acknowledge that. So I do think that that's something that gets tossed around quite a bit. Is like, oh, it was just generic, and it was rinse and repeat. It's stuff you've seen before, and it's like, well, like every comic book movie really has stuff that you've seen before. In fact, that's a criticism that people use in a ton of movies. Oh, it's nothing that you haven't seen before. Well, I mean, you don't know what I've watched. maybe this is fresh and new for me. So that's one that I think would be a little bit hypocritical, and I think a lot of people use. Lance Jackson, the movie and music fan. What's going on, Lance Jackson? Your name, I think, gets longer every time I see you, and I love it, man. It's awesome. Hey, what's up, Zach? Good to see you. Just laughing too hard at Big Bang Theory, and later I might watch Good Burger and maybe Pirates of the Caribbean and Wreck-It Ralph. That is a fun movie night, man. I mean, I feel like we have this discussion all the time about Good Burger. A lot of people in my chat love Good Burger. I don't know if you guys all grew up with it. I do not like that movie, but I know that you're a big fan of it, Lance, and I'm very happy for you. That sounds like a great movie marathon for you. Enjoy your night. Nathan Jada Movies says, thoughts on Peacemaker season 2 if you have seen it. Oh, sorry. We did a jump there. That's gonna get annoying. Where did we go? Thoughts on Peacemaker season 2 if you've seen it. I thought it was good up until the finale. I've come to the decision, this decision. It's just how it goes for me. I'm not a fan of Peacemaker. It's not my thing. I watched the first 2 episodes of Peacemaker season 2, and it's obviously James Gunn being the head of the studio, being the one that can make all the decisions, and just being able to be full gun, do anything he wants with the DCU. In some ways, I do think is a little bit not detrimental to the property, but I think Gunn is better when he is reined back. I think he is a little bit better when his sensibilities are contained a bit more. Because he does go so far with the kind of juvenile, raunchy, sexual humor and stuff with Peacemaker to the point that I just don't enjoy watching it. There's a scene very early on in episode 1, takes place in Peacemaker's house, involves a lot of people, involves very limited clothing. I think you know which scene it is. That's kind of where I decided I was out. It just wasn't really necessary, I felt, and I just it's not a show for me. It's not a show for me, and I know a lot of people really enjoy it. That's awesome. I don't. So I guess that's my hot take, I guess you could say, but that's really just preference. I don't really like Peacemaker. And so for that reason I didn't really watch it. Jay Pylon says, look, the VHS collection growing, or maybe I didn't notice those ones before. Or it looks like the VHS. Yeah, I got a couple of VHSs back here. I think I did rearrange them a bit in a little bit more recently, but it's not growing. I haven't bought a couple in a little bit. I had this idea that I was gonna buy all these because they're like 99 cents at used thrift stores. So I was gonna get all these VHSs, and I was going to get like a nice wall or something of VHSs on here, but I kind of ditched it. I kind of stopped with that idea. So those are all the same ones that I've always had for like the past year and a half. Marvin One Joe, what's going on? Marvin says, hey Zach, what are your plans for Halloween this year? Well, obviously I'm not going out. My boy is only 8 months old. Probably going over to my mom's, watching Nightmare Before Christmas or something, and just eating a bowl of candy. I think that's my plans for Halloween. It's not gonna be I mean, it doesn't sound very exciting maybe to you, but that sounds like a good night to me. My wife, my son, good movie, and some candy. That is how I want to spend my Halloween, and I think that's what we're gonna do. Of course, I'll be dressed as Spider-Man. I still I don't know how well I fit into it anymore. It's actually been a little bit since I wore it, but this Spider-Man suit, you can't really see it that well, but that's kind of been my Halloween costume for the past 3 years. And it's skin tight, so you really don't want to see me wear it right now. But I don't even know if it fits anymore, to be honest. I haven't worn it in like a year and a bit. So let's see here. The View with Drew. Here's a superhero movie criticism that I find hypocritical. I hate that people complain about Superman killing Zod in Man of Steel, but he killed Zod in Superman 2 as well. That's a good example. I think it's probably the way that he kills Zod in Superman 2 is a little bit more, he gets the upper hand, he outsmarts Zod, and then, he just happened to push him down a chasm. It's a little less hands-on, no pun intended, and a little bit less violent than just straight up snapping his neck. And that's coming from someone who loves Man of Steel and likes that decision and thinks that it works for the film and works for the character of Superman in that film. So I am in no way saying that I'm with this, like, oh, they shouldn't have killed Zod in Man of Steel. I like that scene. I think it works well. But I can see that's a good one. That's a good one to pick. It definitely different how it's executed and how it feels even within the movie itself. But that's a really good one. I like that one. Rico Irvin says, yo, what's going on, Rico? Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here, man. Usually I'd be able to pull up your name individually and have you all displayed, but I have to re-download the feature that lets me do that on OBS. So I apologize in advance for not being able to do that. I guess it's not in advance. I'm apologizing to you in the moment that it happened. So, anyways. Nerdy with Autism says, Zach, what's your favorite movie of the 80s that stuck with you? I mean, we just talked about Back to the Future, but if I can't pick Back to the Future, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I love the Bill and Ted films. I love the Bill and Ted characters. Those are some that stuck with me. But the 80s have so many like really good movies that will just stick with you. Like Stand by Me comes to mind from the 80s. Gremlins comes to mind. At the moment, like they're not like necessarily my favorites, but they do come to mind. The Indiana Jones films, I believe Last Crusade was in the 80s, and I think Temple of Doom was also in the 80s, but I would go more Last Crusade than Temple of Doom for my favorite of the Indiana Jones films. But yeah, man, the 80s, I mean, what a decade, man. Ghostbusters is another one that pops up there. Um, the 80s, I mean, come on. It's the best decade of movies, right? It has to. The Ace Avenue says we miss you on the Saturday shows. I miss you guys too. Um, I have there's no plans for members talk live to come back at the moment. I'm never say never, but it was definitely like it was a good decision to step back from that as well. And it's just a little bit more. It's a different type of the way that I was talking about commitment on like every Wednesday. I'm gonna be doing the live show and just feeling like I need to fulfill that because I told people that, so I need to do it. It's a whole different added pressure when you tell people not only that you're gonna do that every Saturday, but they're paying to be there and you're in charge of putting the show together and making sure that everyone's on the page of what we're going to be talking about, making sure that you get the show notes out to everybody ahead of time so they're prepared for when they come on Saturday. And it's just a lot more, as silly as it sounds, it's a lot more mental work than just deciding I'm going to pop on live and do some Q&A for a little bit. So I'm not going to say it's never coming back. I definitely loved doing it. It was so much fun. I missed you guys. I missed T. I missed Frank. I missed Ryan. I missed I'm going to feel terrible if I don't name everybody now. But, you know, everybody. I missed the whole crew. I missed the whole crew of members. And I definitely am starting to get back into doing collaborations as well. I just did a collaboration on 3D Jake's channel. We talked about Scooby-Doo from 2002, and that was a really fun collab to do. So I'm slowly starting to get back out there and jump on other people's channels, and I'm definitely planning on having people come back onto my channel for Zach Milne Talks Live and do collaborations. And you're on the list, and he's on the list, and all my past buddies and some new people, they're all on the list. So slowly but surely we're gonna start rolling all of this out again. But yeah, I miss you guys too. Definitely was a great time. Luke Ponto says, what's a movie that you thought was so bad that you couldn't finish it? Kinda Pregnant. Is that what that was called from this year? Kinda Pregnant or something like that? It was that Amy Schumer pregnant movie. I couldn't get through it. I stopped. I had to stop watching it. Yeah, that's one that comes to mind, and that is one that I'm very happy I shut off. I still haven't finished it. I thought there was one that I watched recently that was so bad and I turned it off. You know, we're still planning to finish it, and we didn't technically turn it off. We did turn it off, but it just got kind of late for us. We had to go to bed. But Jurassic World Rebirth, my wife and I started watching that. We got about an hour into it. We were both asking where the dinosaurs were at, and we turned it off, and we haven't gone back to. And this was like 2 months ago. Not saying that Jurassic World Rebirth was so bad I couldn't finish it, but I haven't finished it, and I haven't had a strong desire to finish it. I will finish it, but that's a recent one that I can think of. Let's see here. We got Jay Pylon saying Nightmare Before Christmas is showing tonight only in my cinema. I wanted to view it. I never saw it. That would be fun. Going to a Nightmare Before Christmas in the cinema. If you have the opportunity to do that and you want to do that, I would definitely encourage you to do that. That would be fun. Marvin One Joe says, which is your least favorite genre in films? Is it dramas, western, etc.? You know, this is probably a good time to bring up. I think so. If you guys, and a lot of you guys have been watching me for quite some time, you know that I will more often than not, when it comes to horror films say I'm not the horror guy. I don't really like horror movies. And I'm still not the horror guy. I'm still not like that. That's not going to be my forte or my domain. But I'm going to retire the phrase I don't like horror movies because it's not true. And I've watched a number of horror movies this last month. I've been putting out a bunch of rankings of horror films, trying to stretch myself a bit more for the Halloween season. And yeah, I like too many horror films. Like I must have watched like 30, maybe even 40 horror films in like September and into October, and I liked more than I disliked. So I like horror. I do. And I even watched like Final Destination Bloodlines and I Know What You Did Last Summer from earlier this year. I also watched Weapons, Companions, a horror. The Monkey is kind of like a horror comedy, but I've seen too much horror this year, and my past have liked horror that I'm gonna retire that phrase. It's not that I don't like horror. It's not necessarily my favorite genre, but I like it. I like horror. So still not the horror guy, but I do like horror. I'm gonna stop saying that I don't like horror. On top of that, my least favorite genre probably in that you brought up would be Western. I just don't watch very many, but I'm also like thinking of Westerns from back in the day. I have trouble getting into them. Like there are Westerns I like. I love Unforgiven, The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Even the whole Man with No Name series. I really enjoy those Westerns. And even like Logan in the comic book realm is kind of like a comic book Western film. So it's not that I don't like Westerns, but I would probably say Westerns. If I can't say like I don't know, like is torture porn kind of like a genre? Because that kind of horror, I probably would say I don't like very much. I still haven't watched Saw. I still don't really have a desire to watch Saw. So if that's a genre, I would say that. But of what you said, westerns would probably be the one I choose. The Ace Avenue says, "What's your son gonna be for his first Halloween? Any family costumes in mind?" Dude, he's gonna be Spider Man. He's gonna be Spider-Man. I'm gonna be Spider-Man. He's gonna be Spider-Man. We're gonna be multiverse Spider-Man coming together. I don't know. Until he can make up his mind and form his own opinions of what he likes, he's gonna be everything I like. So first year Spider-Man, second year he might be like Iron Man or Captain America. But he's gonna be Spider-Man. I'm holding it. I'm holding him to that. When he turns one, he's gonna be Spider. Well, not one. When he goes for his first Halloween, he'll be Spider-Man. Um, any family costumes in mind? Yeah. Maybe I'll be Spider-Man. He'll be Spider-Man, and my wife could be Spider-Gwen. That's what we'll do. Um, let's see. Nathan Van Ruby says favorite movies of the year. For me, it's K-pop Demon Hunters, Bring Her Back, Sinners, Companion, Splitsville, and Fantastic Four. No Superman in there for me, but it's my brother's favorite. I'm with you, man. Superman is not in my favorites of the year. I was prepared for this. I was prepared for this. Because I knew, as I'm making sure things are working out, as I say, I'm prepared for this. I knew that I would get this question because I always get this question, and I'm never prepared. So I actually, if I can do this right, I actually have. Yeah, here we go. I got my letterbox up here. I got my letterbox of everything I've watched 2025. So going through this, some of my favorites of this year, Companion is definitely up there. Really, really, really enjoy Companion. I put Better Man in there, honestly. That I didn't know anything about Robbie Williams at all. But I really like Better Man. Padman in Peru really kind of let me down. Novocaine is gonna possibly be a contender as well. I really like that movie. I know it's not like the best movie of the year. For me, the best movie of the year is probably still Sinners. Sinners was one that I really enjoyed. Along with Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts is one of my favorites of the year as well. Let's see, what else have I watched this year? Anything else coming to mind? I really enjoyed The Accountant too. Naked Gun was hilarious. I really liked Naked Gun. Yeah, I think that's it for what I've seen this year so far. I'm still playing a ton of catch up. um for this year, but I got to go with Sinners. I think Sinners is still my favorite movie of the year. Um yeah, nothing I've seen, at least, that I've caught up on, nothing comes close to Sinners. So I'm gonna stick with that one, along with those other ones that I named that I've already forgotten that I named. Right. Let's see here. Find my. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Boom. Prepared. Answered your question. Had my letterbox ready. I never have my letterbox ready, so already feeling good. Already feeling good. I've got to catch up on like Splitsville though and bring her back. Well, I don't know. I heard some interesting things about Bring Her Back, so maybe I won't watch Bring Her Back. Um, let's see here. We did another jump. A little bit harder. Uh, two. Favorite movie. Okay, awesome. So Nathan's random movies goes on and says, if you can go to the theater, will you watch Chris Stuckman's Shelby Oaks this weekend? It's not a matter of if I can go to the theater. My theater's not playing it. If I want to watch Chris Stuckman's Shelby Oaks, I have to go a couple hours away, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to go a couple hours away. I really do want to see it though. Even though I'm hearing mixed things about it, I just want to support the guy. I've been watching Chris Stuckmann. I mean, this is literally every single YouTuber who talks about movies story, but I'm gonna tell it anyways. I've been watching Chris Stuckmann since like 2011, maybe 2012, and I want to be there to support his journey because he's been such an influential one on mine. Like he's kind of the YouTuber. Like Jeremy Johns was my first gateway into movie criticism on YouTube and finding someone who talked about movies the way that I wanted to talk about movies. Chris Stuckmann was the first person who challenged me in how I talked about movies. And he was just so knowledgeable and he just knew so much and he was so informative that he kind of became like my and like many people out there, he kind of became like my film teacher in many ways. I learned a lot about film and film criticism and just like the makings of film and the ins and outs of Hollywood from Chris Stuckmann. So I definitely want to support. I want to give him my money. I want to see it in the theater because that's just like it almost feels like an honor to get to see his movie with it, like being able to. It would be such an honor to review his movie because of how much on the platform he's given to me. I'd love to be able to give that back for him. Unfortunately, my theater's just not playing it. And I'm not surprised. My theater is like a big chain theater. They only play like the big movies. This is a small $1 million indie film. Uh so maybe one day. Of course one day I'm going to see it. I'll watch it when I'll buy it on Apple TV or whatever. I'll buy it on iTunes, whatever they call it nowadays. I'm gonna support him one way or the other, but I might miss it in theaters, which is a bummer, but that's the circumstance, and it's okay. The Ace Avenue says, speaking of High School Musical, have you watched the series yet? No, I have not watched the series yet. I've been watching stuff for YouTube videos basically. Whenever I got time to watch a movie or work on something, it's for a YouTube video. So um I do. I don't know. I have an idea. I'll probably message you a little bit later, Ace. I don't know. I can't promise I'll message you later, but I've been thinking about like I want to collaborate with you on something High School Musical related because next year is the 20th anniversary, I want to say, of the first High School Musical, and I kind of want to do something for it. And you're the guy that kind of comes to my mind, so I might message you later just to let you know, just to let everybody know. I might message you later. Marvin One Joe says, which film is worse, Seed of Chucky, Jason Goes to Hell, or Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare? Very good question. Those are all movies that are last on my list in all of their rankings, so I can see why you went there. Honestly, the worst is Jason Goes to Hell. Um, Going back to Luke Ponto's question of a movie that you wanted to turn off because it was so bad, if I wasn't committed to finishing the ranking, I would have turned off Jason Goes to Hell. I thought it was terrible. It was so bizarre and just an awful direction to take the franchise, and it was kind of boring and slow, and it changed up so much of the mythology. It was I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Following that would probably be it probably would be Seed of Chucky, because Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmares, it's got some really comedically bad moments that I wouldn't mind watching again. But there was nothing really in Seed of Chucky or Jason Goes to Hell that I ever want to watch again. So the worst is Jason Goes to Hell, followed by Seed, and then Final Nightmare is my favorite of the worst, I guess. Marvin One Joe also says, "What do you think they should do with Chucky Child's Play franchise now? Make a season 4 or a new movie?" I mean, they had the chance to make. By the way, the Chucky's TV series, all 3 seasons, I plowed through those so fast. I really enjoyed it. I I would have liked to have seen a season 4, but there was it did feel like it was running its course. I can see why it didn't get renewed. Even though I would have liked to have seen it renewed. As far as what they should do with the franchise next, I mean, Don Mancini kind of runs it and owns it now, so I definitely think we're going to see a continuation of the story in some way. I think new movie. I think you do a new movie. I think you bring it back to, if you can, bring it back to the theaters, put it back on the big screen. And even the way that season 3 wrapped up, even though it was an incomplete story, not incomplete story, it completed the story of season 3, but still set up something for season 4 that now we'll never see. It still ended Chucky's story in a way that I'm like, all right, it feels like the story of Chucky in these kids' lives is over, and now we can move on to Chucky somewhere else doing something else. So personally, I'd like to see a movie. But I would have liked to have seen a season 4 as well. Marvin One Joe says, "Have you seen Peacemaker season 2 yet?" We did actually just talk about that a little while back, and it's just not for me. I did enjoy some of the stuff I watched in the first 2 episodes, and I just tapped out. I decided not to finish it. It's not something I enjoy. Darren's Sanctuary. What's going on, Darren? Thanks for joining. He says, "Yo, well, yo, back to you, Darren. It's an honor to have you here, my friend." Marvin One Joe says, "Which is your favorite fast food place to eat? Is it McDonald's or Burger King? Why are those my only options? Why is those? I mean, of the two, Burger King is probably my favorite. They got better burgers than McDonald's, but it's also more expensive. And I will admit, I go to McDonald's more often than I'll go to Burger King. But that's mostly because the Burger King in my town is further than like the 3 McDonald's before it. So, if you're asking what fast food place I eat the most, it's honestly probably Wendy's. But McDonald's is probably a close second. Toxic Gamer, what's going on, Toxic Gamer? It says, "Olo, Zach." Oh, I love hearing those words. Olo, right back to you, Toxic Gamer. It's been too long. I've missed it. It says, "How's your day been? It's been a minute." It has been a huge minute. And I appreciate you being here, Toxic Gamer. All of you guys, appreciate you so much for being here. As far as how I've been or how my day has been, it started off a little bit shaky because I woke up with a little bit of a head cold, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? I'm going live for the first time in months, and I'm getting sick." But I feel okay. I've taken some medicine and stuff, so I feel okay right now. So my day got better after that, and I had a good day. I had a pretty good day. My day at work went well, went pretty fast. Was busy, so kept moving, which I like about work. So yeah, my day was good. My day was good, man, and now it's even better because I'm here with all of you. Let's see here. Nerdy with Autism says, "What is your theater pet peeve?" That's a really good question. My theater pet peeves. Man, I don't. I mean, it's okay if you come in late, and I understand that it's dark, but do you have to shine your flashlight to find your seat number on your phone? The movie started. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's illuminated enough that you can see your seat number, but I'm sitting there, I'm watching the beginning of Infinity War, and Thanos is kicking Hulk's butt, and then all of a sudden this guy next to me is got his phone, and he's going, this is my seat, yeah, and he has to put his seat down. So that kind of bothers me a little bit. That's a pet peeve because I understand they have to do it, I guess, but when you come into the movie late, don't be so disruptive. Obviously, teenagers on their phones drives me nuts. That's not even really a pet peeve. That's just like indecent human behavior in a public space. So I really don't like that. Um, yeah, no, there's I'm um pretty grateful and blessed that I haven't had too many bad theater experiences in my theater. My theater's pretty good. My theater is pretty good. Like the audience members in my theater, I mean, I'm Canadian. I live in Canada, so that might have something to do with it, but they're pretty respectful for the most part. They're pretty quiet. Honestly, a lot of the movies I go to is really sparse. There's hardly anyone there. If I'm gonna get like a rowdy crowd, it's gonna be at like a big Marvel event or one of those big blockbuster events. But for the most part, I don't have too many bad experiences going to the movie theaters, honestly. Um, and I'm very privileged, I guess, in that way, because I just live in a really great town of quiet people. Um, Let's see here. Toxic Gamer says, watching you while doing school and watching The Woman in Cabin 10 on Netflix. Is that new Keira Knightley one? I heard mixed things about. Are you enjoying that, Toxic Gamer? I heard mixed things about that. I haven't checked it out myself. I haven't checked out any series myself. But hey, man, I'm glad to see you here and you're staying in school, so I'm doing something right. Nathan's Random Movie says, I saw K-pop Demon Hunters in the theater with my friends back in August, and it was the craziest and best theater. There was screaming, people ran down the stairs in the big moment from what it sounds like. And a little bit earlier, I saw the movie with Keanu Reeves and Seth Rogen called Good Fortune, while also getting the Black Phone popcorn bucket. I've seen you been watching all the horror franchises. What would you say is the best and worst franchises you've watched through so far? There's a lot there. First of all, that does sound like a great K-pop Demon Hunters experience. Me personally would not like that experience. I understand people are having fun and stuff, but even if I've seen the movie and you're running up and down and screaming, that would bother me. That would be a pet peeve. That would be a pet peeve of mine. And is Good Fortune good? I saw that was being reviewed by a bunch of people. I never even heard of it. So, was it any good? I that's very new to me. Also, the Black Phone popcorn bucket. That's pretty cool. As far as the horror franchises that I've been watching, so I put up ranking videos for Nightmare on Elm Street, which I had seen before. Friday the 13th, that was all a new watch. Chucky, I'd seen the first 3 Child's Play, but the rest were all new watches. And then Final Destination, all new watches. Halloween, I can let you guys know the Halloween franchise ranking is coming on Halloween Day, so 2 Fridays from now. I saw Halloween, and then what I didn't get around to making rankings for that I meant to but just couldn't was I Know What You Did Last Summer, Evil Dead. Was there one more? Might have just been those. Yeah, it might have just been those ones. So as far as the best franchise that I watch, it's hard not to say Chucky, honestly. I enjoyed a majority of those, and even when you put the TV series on it, I really enjoyed that experience. The worst franchise that I watched, a lot of Friday the 13th was rough, man. But I might go with I Know What You Did Last Summer. It's only 4 films. The first one's okay. The second one felt like they were really starting to stretch the concept. It was really starting to like get a little bit ridiculous. The third film's atrocious. The third film, I found out after I watched it that it was a direct-to-video movie, and it made total sense after I watched it that it was a direct-to-video movie, but it was awful. And then the new one that they put out this year was okay until the ending. I didn't really like how they ended it with the twist and everything. So that was just a franchise that I'm like, I don't think I would watch again. Maybe the first one I would watch again, but with the rest of the other ones, I have more entries that I would want to watch again. So that might have been the worst one that I watched was I Know What You Did Last Summer. It's a franchise that shouldn't be a franchise. That's how I would. Let's hear. What is your favorite 4K Blu-ray in your collection? My 4K Blu-ray. My favorite 4K Blu-ray. I don't have one close by, and I also don't have one off the top of my head. I mean, this is pretty cool. I did get this recently. I got the 4K collection of A Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, I wouldn't say that this is my favorite 4K. I don't even have a 4K player. I don't even have a 4K player to play this. I gotta get a 4K player. I gotta get a 4K TV. I gotta get money. That's what I gotta get. But that's a 4K that's nearby that I thought was kind of cool. Other than that, it's all Blu-rays for the most part. I don't have yeah, a 4K Blu-ray. I don't really have one sitting next to me nearby. I'll have to look through my collection to actually figure that one. Toxic Gamer 331 also says you also won the Money in the Bank briefcase in my WWE 2025 Universe mode, where you can catch it in for a world. You can cash it in for a world title match anytime you want. I will do that. I will cash that in. I want it. It's mine. I want to cash it in. That's awesome, man. I can't believe that I'm still a part of your game. That's honestly the coolest thing that I've heard in a really long time. That you're still playing an avatar of me that you made in your game. I've made it. I've made it because I'm on Toxic Gamer's video game. That's how I feel. That's awesome. I really appreciate that. That is so cool. I tell people about that sometimes. I'm like, someone that watches my videos, he made an avatar of me in his video game. That kind of blows them away. So I appreciate that, man. That's really, really cool. Toxic Gamer 331 says, are you going to be seeing Chris Stuckmann's film coming out this week? I was able to see it on Monday for AMC Scream Unseen, which was a mystery screening. That's really cool that they did his film for the mystery screening. You know what's crazy? Maybe not what's crazy. Maybe that's the wrong word. But I'm really kind of blown away. And I'm not entirely sure if it's just the marketing or my algorithm, but I'm blown away by how much I see of Shelby Oak. Like, I don't know if it's the same for all of you guys out there. I don't know if it's just like my algorithm because I've been watching Chris Stuckmann for years, and I still look up his stuff and I like his stuff. So my Instagram reels and my YouTube ads and all that, they just keep showing Shelby Oak to me. But I feel like Chris Stuckmann is everywhere on social media, and Shelby Oaks is everywhere on social media. And for a little indie film that's $1 million that got created because Chris did a Kickstarter that fans contributed to, I think it's pretty impressive how much marketing and press that this movie is getting. I'm really excited for Chris Stuckmann. I think I think it's gonna do really, really well. And hopefully I can contribute to that, but it's not looking like it so far. My theater, I checked. It's Wednesday. The Thursday showings are up. The Friday showings are up, and there's no Chris Stuckmann's Shelby Oak showing in my theater. I only got one theater, so. Well, there is another theater, but it's like smaller, artsy type, and they didn't have it either. So I'll have to wait and see it, but I'm definitely curious. I definitely wanted. Kenny Sparks, one of the two. What am I trying to say? Kenny Sparks, one part of the amazing duo who does Film Club. If you guys haven't checked out Film Club with Zach and Kenny, they do it through both of their channels, Zach Attack Reviews channel and Kenny Sparks YouTube channel, and they do it live every Tuesday, I want to say. But they've also just created a new Instagram and a new YouTube channel strictly for Film Club, where they've got clip outs and it's really fun stuff. They're really great together. They got great chemistry. So definitely check out Kenny and Zach's Film Club on Tuesdays, or just go to their new YouTube channel. And they deserve that plug because they're awesome. And Kenny, it's great to see you in here, man. Thank you so much for being here. He says, hey, Zach, glad to see you back. So glad to be back, man. I can't stay long because I'm dog tired, but I hope you have a great stream. Yeah, I've been there, man. Dog tired. I get it, man. I appreciate you just stopping by, man. The show was made better because you were a part of it, man, even if it was that brief second. I appreciate you, dude. You have a good night. Toxic Gamer 331 says, and it was a very solid for a first film of his. That's great to hear because I'm hearing mixed things. I mean, I saw who was it that I saw? Dan Merle, that's who I saw. I saw Dan Merle kind of gave it like a middling review. I think Greg Alba from The Real Rejects really liked it though. So it's mixed, but John Flickinger was another one I saw. He kind of gave it like a it's fine. I think he gave it a C. I think he gave it a graded C. So I'm very excited to see it. I'm very interested to see it. The fact that it's mixed doesn't deter me at all, but I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. Sounds like we're in for a good time. Marvin One Joe says, "Who's your favorite hero? Batman, Superman, or Spider-Man?" Spider-Man. Spider-Man, hands down. If I had to rank them, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. But Spider-Man, he's the man. He's the man in my. He's the man in my heart. Man in my. Nathan's Random Movie says, "Thoughts on Andor season 2? My favorite show of the year. It's impressive, especially coming from Disney, Star Wars. It's really funny because I loved Andor season 1. I ate that up. I had such a good time with Andor season 1. I'm struggling to get through Andor season 2. Not because Andor season 2 is bad. I'm not saying Andor season 2 is bad. But I will say that I'm 5 episodes in. I just started the second arc of the story. So we've jumped a year and everyone's in different places and we're getting reaccustomed to where they are and what they're doing. And every time I think of like, all right, I got this amount of time. What do I want to watch? There's movies, there's TV, there's this, there's that. I'm working on this YouTube video. Do I want to work on this YouTube video? All this kind of stuff. I just don't gravitate towards finishing Andor. And that's crazy because I was really looking forward to Andor season 2. And I'm just finding it a little bit. I don't know what it is. I don't think I'll know what it is until I actually finish it. But I'm not as hooked as I was in season 1. So, I mean, I guess those are technically my thoughts on Andor season 2 as far as I've gotten. I'm not even like halfway. I'm like 1 episode away from being halfway through. I'm gonna finish it. I am going to finish it. I just don't know when I'm gonna finish it. There's so much coming out all the time. There's so much more that I want to watch. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting to feel that way. Let's see here. Here we go. Here. Oh, okay. Marvin One Joe says, should they make a 4th Back to the Future film sequel or make a reboot or none? None. Here's the thing. I'm saying they make none because I love the movie so much. And I don't want to see it redone because I don't think it needs to be. But if they made a great reboot, remake, sequel, I'd be there. I would be there to watch it. And if it was great, I'd be happy that they made it. If it turned out crap, I'd be like, they never should have made this. But if they make it and it's fantastic, I'll be like, this is great. I'm so glad they decided to make this. But my fears of it being bad are stronger than my hopes of it being good. And I don't think it's necessary is a weird word because nothing in movies is necessary. But I personally just want to leave Back to the Future alone. I know it's inevitable. They're going to do it. I mean, they're going to do it. They might cancel Fast X Part 2 and go, crap, we need a big money getter. We'll reboot Back to the Future. May not be today, may not be tomorrow, but I know they're going to do it. I don't want it. But if I had to pick, because your question is, well, technically none is an option, but if I had to pick a sequel or a reboot, I think I would choose reboot. You know, I love Michael J. Fox. I love Christopher Lloyd. I love all of them, but they're up there in age, and I think Back to the Future does require this youthful, centric energy to the film to like make it work. And I don't know if that works with a cast as old as they are at this time. So if I had to pick, it'd be a reboot, but my real answer is I don't want it. Let's see here. Acres of Movies, what's going on? Thank you so much for being here. Great to see you back. He says, who should play Livewire in new DC movie? Here's the thing. I don't know who Livewire is. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Can I just like say Jim Carrey? I'll say Jim Carrey with no knowledge of the character, and it'll either fit or be way off. You let me know. But I'm saying Jim Carrey should be Livewire. Hashtag it. You heard it here first. Toxic Gamer 331 says, are there any films that have come out this year that you've watched but haven't talked about yet or reviewed yet on Letterboxd? All of them. I haven't. Well, that's not true. I talked about a couple. Is there a film that I haven't reviewed on Letterboxd that I watched this year? only Jurassic World Rebirth because I didn't finish it. Once I finish it, then I will talk about it. And technically, kind of pregnant because I didn't finish that either, and I didn't want to watch it, so I didn't talk about that on Letterboxd either. Those I think are the only two movies. And once I finish Jurassic World Rebirth, then I will talk about it. But I still gotta catch. I gotta watch Ballerina. I gotta watch Mission Impossible. My wife and I are trying to find time to watch that together, which it's nearly 3 hours long, and with a baby in our schedule, that's really hard to find the time to watch it together. So I still haven't seen that. Most of the stuff that I'm watching is when my son is napping on me and I have time to watch something on my phone or quietly on the TV. That's when I'm watching these things. Other than that, I'm up and going. Let's see here. Nerdy with Autism says, he says no, will ruin the franchise. No Michael J. Fox, no Back to the Future. I mean, like I said, we say that because we hold it to high regard and we adore it. But if they did come out with another one and it did turn out to be awesome, and even the possibility that the young actor was better than Michael J. Fox, not saying that that would happen, but it is always a possibility until it happens, we would all be like, oh, I'm so glad they made it. This is great. It's only if it sucks, which we all assume it will. That's why we don't want it. But they could prove us wrong. Marvin Wanjo says, should they make Robert Pattinson's Batman 2022 part of the DCU or no? No. No. Don't want it. Don't want it in the DCU. I think that Superman really did solidify that it just wouldn't work. I mean, it's not even just like a different city from it's a completely different world. The two do not mesh together. It wouldn't work. I don't think there's a reality where a David Cornsweet and a Robert Pattinson Batman meeting on the screen would feel natural, would feel like it works. Do I think that having two Batman running at the same time is a little bit of a dicey move? A little bit. Absolutely. It's definitely something I don't think any other studio has ever tried, running two franchises with at the same time. Not really competing against each other, I guess, because they're all under the same umbrella, but you're still going to have audience members like, I like this Batman more than this Batman, and do you want to do that to yourself? So in that sense, it's like, could you just commit to Robert Pattinson and not do another Batman? Maybe, but I think they've made the decision. Robert Pattinson's Batman is nowhere near the world of Superman, and you got to factor the Penguin into this too. The Penguin series that they did, that feels completely different and completely detached from the world that Superman is in. So I don't know. The thing is, you never say never. A Crisis on Infinite Earth thing happens, and the multiverses collide and crash in on each other, and all of a sudden Robert Pattinson falls into Superman's world. That's always a possibility. That could happen 10 years down the road. But for now, I'm gonna say no. Don't put Robert Pattinson in the DCU. Not as Batman. See here. Wow, honestly, guys, this is really, really cool. This is really, really nice of you guys. There were so many questions. So many of you guys popped up. So many of you guys are engaging. Thank you so much. Like, really, like, this is incredible. Honestly, I was kind of nervous. You never know. I've been gone for so long. Is no one gonna show up? I had a little bit of anxiety today because I haven't been solo live in a little bit now, but this is really, really cool. Thank you guys so much for being here and for everything that you're contributing in the chat. Toxic Gamer 331 says, "Kinda Pregnant was terrible. It's tied with Bride Hard for me for the worst film of the year." I don't know what Bride Hard is. I have no idea what Bride Hard is. That sounds like something Melissa McCarthy would star in, though. Kenny Sparks says, "I started watching Skinamarink, and I don't think I'll be finishing it." I remember when that movie came out. I think Luke Ponto really liked that movie, and if I remember correctly, I think Zack Attack Reviews had it as like his worst film the year that came out. Nothing about that movie interested me to see it, so I still haven't watched it. Probably will never watch it. Acres Movie says, favorite movie scene, the T-Rex when she breaks out of her pen in the first Jurassic Park. That's my favorite movie sequence of all time. I love the setting of the rain. Steven Spielberg was just so brilliant with that. Like the way that he goes from animatronic to CGI so seamlessly. The whole sequence is just like a craft of suspense and tension. And I'll never forget when I was a kid when that T-Rex's eye goes into the wind. It's why it's at the beginning of my intro for like each scene in my intro to my YouTube videos are moments in film that were like super impactful to me. So starting off, it's that eye dilating in the window of the car of the Jeep looking in at the children. I couldn't fathom that as a kid that wasn't real. Like the way that the eye dilates just completely blew my mind. So that's at the beginning of my intro. Of course, the Avengers was a huge life-changing event for me when it came out, and then Back to the Future, my favorite movie. You gotta have it in there. But yeah, my favorite movie scene is definitely the T-Rex breaking out of the pen. Nathan's Dread movie says, so which is better, Frozen or K-pop Demon Hunters? Probably Frozen. I think Frozen will last the test of time and has lasted the test of time. I think the jury is still out on if K-pop Demon Hunters the movie itself will last the test of time. It's just so fresh. But I mean, I remember like when I saw Frozen for the first time, I liked the music, but I also surprisingly really liked the characters and the story. And I was, when did that come out? I was 14ish, 2013. I think is when Frozen came out. So I was like 13 going on 14, or I was 14. And I was kind of, oh, I'm not watching a Disney girl movie. I'm cool and in middle school. And I watch iCarly on the weekends. I was a contradictory kind of kid, Going back to hypocrites, I was a hypocritical kid. But I really liked Frozen. And I still like Frozen. I remember liking Frozen 2 more than the first one, but I don't know if that's true anymore. But, K-pop Demon Hunters, it's too fresh to even compare the two. So I'm going with Frozen. Acres of Movie says, who should play live action Jack Skellington? Jack Skellington, you mean Nightmare Before Christmas? Who should? What's his name? Jim Parsons. I don't think Jim Parsons was really quite thin and skinny in Big Bang Theory. I don't think he is anymore. But Jim Parsons from season 1 of Big Bang Theory would be my pick for Jack Skellington in live action. Marvin Juan Joe says, are you sad that Henry Cavill's Man of Steel Superman will never get a sequel now? Am I sad? No, I'm not sad. Like, sad is like I think about it often, or I watch Man of Steel and I finish Man of Steel and I'm like, oh, I want a sequel to this. I don't feel like that after I finish Man of Steel. I would have taken it. I would have liked to have seen where they gone with it. I would have liked to have seen Henry Cavill continue. But am I sad that he's not? No, not sad. Acres of Movie says, make Michael Jackson. What? Make Michael J. Fox biopic? A Michael J. Fox biopic, I'd watch that. There was that great documentary that they did of Michael Jackson's life. Michael J. Fox. Michael J. Fox's life called Still, a Michael J. Fox movie. I think that came out in 2023, 22. It was really good. If you are a Michael J. Fox fan, heck, if you're just a fan in general of movies, Still, a Michael J. Fox documentary was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And it almost like I don't feel like I need a biopic because I got that. But it would be fun to have a biopic, and of course you got Tom Holland playing the lead. That's who you have to cast. Toxic Gamer 331 says, I've been doing a review series of watching Halloween movies every day of October on my channel. Yeah, that'll keep you busy. I mean, there's 13 of them. So if you do it every year, you got 13 years of content right there. So that's smart. And I mean, I'm sure they'll be putting out more movies, so you'll have even more content to put out. So me, I just put it all in one video, got it over. Nathan Trender Movie says, Sinister is recorded as the scariest movie according to science. I watched it last week and I didn't think it was that scary. Sinister is probably still the Sinister or Hereditary are the scariest movies I've ever seen. I give the edge to Sinister because I wasn't that young. I was like 19 when I first watched it. That's not young at all. But I was 19 and I was over at a friend's house who loved horror movies, knew I was a big scaredy cat with horror movies, always wanted to get me to watch them. And he put it on at like 2 o'clock in the morning without me knowing at all what it was. And I was met with this. I don't really want to say what it was, but people hanging themselves and being like, "What the heck are we watching?" And he was like, "We're watching this." And Sinister freaked me right out. So I would be part of that study, according to science, according to Zach Science. Sinister is the scariest movie I've ever seen. But Hereditary is also up there. Fox Gamer 331 says, how's life been with the son as of late? Thanks for asking, man. Really good. He's the best. He's awesome. It's interesting. You never know what kind of baby you're gonna have until you have the baby. That was something people always said to me when my wife was pregnant. It's so true. Like we had no idea what kind of baby we were gonna have, and he is the sweetest. He is just the most adorable little thing. I think we have an easy baby. Not to say that it's not hard, but compared to some, like I've got friends and family that are having kids, and some of their stories compared to our stories, like, man, he is just the best. He's the best, and it's the best. It's the best. It's been so much fun. Even though it's not always fun, but it's been so much. Toxic Gamer 331 says, switching over to Nightmare Before Christmas. Switching over to Nightmare Before. Oh, are you like, you're watching it now? You're watching Nightmare Before Christmas? I'm gonna watch Nightmare Before Christmas on Halloween night. That's what I usually do. All right, let's run through these questions. Pops, what's going on, Pops? Thanks for being here. It says F1 and Final Destination Bloodlines were my top 2 so far. Final Destination Bloodlines was fun. I have F1. Where do I have F1? I just picked it up. Yeah, I have F1. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm excited to watch it. I'm definitely gonna get around to that soon, but I haven't seen it yet. But I hear great things about it. And yeah, Final Destination Bloodlines was fun. Toxic Gamer 331 says my top 5 of the year is Sinister or Sinners, Superman, Thunderbolts, K-pop Demon Hunters, and either Novocaine or The Long Walk. I gotta watch The Long Walk still. I hear that's fantastic. Yeah, Sinners is up there for me. Thunderbolts is up there for me. And Novocaine is probably up there for me as well. I'm in agreement. Toxic Gamer 331 says, did you hear about that? Did you hear about that for Avatar Fire and Ash? It might be the full-length trailer for the Odyssey and teasers of Doomsday and Brand New Day. Here's the thing. Odyssey maybe. I don't know that they would do Odyssey. When does Odyssey come out? It comes out in July of next year. Possibly. Here's what I'll say. I believe the Odyssey more than I'll believe Doomsday or Brand New Day. Especially, they're not going to do Doomsday and Brand New Day at the same time. I don't think so. Now, Brand New Day is probably more likely of the two because it comes out first. Even though they're still like shooting and Tom Holland got hurt and kind of delayed the production a little bit, but of those, I would Brand New Day is probably the one that I would put my money on, because I don't know if you promote Avengers Doomsday before Brand New Day. When Avengers Doomsday comes out after Brand New Day, you probably want to promote the first one first. I don't think you do both at the same time, and I don't know. I think Disney would want to promote their product more than the Odyssey, even though they don't have say of all the trailers that play. I think Universal would probably want to attach the Odyssey to one of their big movies to try and get that bump for that movie. I don't think they'd attach it to Avatar. Could be wrong. Those are just my thoughts. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again, and maybe this is that time. Nathan Jenner Movies says they recently announced Invincible Season 4 coming in March, and me and everyone I know is very hyped for it. I fell off of Invincible. I heard Season 2 wasn't very good. I didn't even bother watching it, and now they're like, you say they're doing Season 4? I'm a little behind. So I have not watched it. Collector Movie Man, what's going on, dude? Thanks for joining. Says, hey, Zach, how you doing? It's been forever. It has been forever. How's everything going with the new kid? Fantastic, dude. He's the best. He's the best. Collector Movie Man says, hey, Zach, I'm going to go see the Springsteen movie on Friday, and then Tuesday, the 28th, I'm going to go see Chris Stuckmann's movie. You sound like you're about to have some fun times at the theater. I want to see the Springsteen movie because Jeremy Allen White is great, but I don't know anything about Springsteen. So that's the only reason. But yeah, Chris Stuckmann's movie, if I could see it, I would. I hope you enjoy it, dude. And thank you so much for being here, my friend. Toxic Gamer 321 says, is there a movie or movies that came out over the last 5 years that would be in your favorite movies of all time? I was talking about this with a friend the other day. In the last said 5 years. Technically, that's outside. I was gonna say Infinity War, but that's outside of 5 years. In the last 5 years, have become my favorite movies of all time. I mean, I would say probably Across the Spider-Verse became one of my favorite animated movies of all time. Maybe not overall favorite movie of all time, but one. And No Way Home became one of my favorite comic book movies of all time. The Batman became my favorite Batman movie of all time. But I don't know if there's a movie in the last 5 years that I can definitively say is now forever in my favorite movies of all time. That exclusive club. I don't know if I could say that. But definitely within genres and within franchises, yeah, I could definitely say that. Collective Movie Man says, also, wait, how many more questions do we have? I don't want to be here too. Wow, that's crazy. You guys are insane. There's so many more questions. I usually do every single question, but I don't know if I can tonight. It's almost 6, and I told my wife I wouldn't be too late. Let's see. Let's see how if we can bang out a couple more of these. That's the thing is you guys give me these questions and my A's are just sometimes way too long. Collective Movie Man says, I also got my ticket for Wicked for good on November 19th for an early screening. I'm really hoping that no one starts singing because if they do, I'm gonna go to the front and complain. Yeah, I mean if it's not a sing along screening, don't sing. Don't sing. I'm so excited for Wicked for good, man. That's one of my favorite, one of my most anticipated movies for the rest of the year. Toxic Gamer 331 says tomorrow I got a double feature of seeing Regretting You and the Springsteen movie. Nice, man. I don't know what Regretting You is, but I hope you have a great time. Toxic Gamer 331 says Good Fortune was fun, but it's not anything great. I enjoyed it. That's good to hear. Apparently the Stranger Things 5 finale is releasing in theaters. Will you see it? I would love to see it, especially since season 4's finale was like 2.5 hours long. So who knows how long this is gonna be? It's probably gonna be feature length. It's probably gonna have a feature length. That's not right. Running time. It's probably gonna have a feature length running time, and I would love to see that in theaters. I doubt my theater does it. I think it's a deal with AMC theaters, and I don't have AMC theaters, so I don't think the Cineplex in Canada is gonna have that deal. But I would love to see it. Toxic Gamer 321 says with the black foam popcorn bucket, the grabber talks to you, which is dope. That's really complex for a popcorn bucket. I gotta say, that's really awesome. Nathan John Movie says, will you watch it? Welcome to Derry this weekend. I want to. I can't guarantee that I will. There's a couple things I want to watch and a couple things I want to watch for YouTube videos that I have coming up. But I am curious. I do want to see what Welcome to Derry has in store. Toxic Gamer says, have you seen Heretic from last year? I got the 4K Steelbook the other day and still my second favorite movie of the year. Nope, didn't see it. Can't really talk on that. But I heard it was great. Toxic Gamer 331 says, anything that was cool with Shelby Oaks is a bunch of the mystery screenings I usually go to, people usually walk out after the film gets revealed, but this time it was packed. That's awesome. Yeah, it was probably filled with people who were hoping, that were Chris Stuckmann fans that were hoping it was going to be that film. That's awesome that they did that. No one walked out, which is cool. That's great. Toxic Gamer says, I was meant to do a review for Shelby Oaks yesterday, but I forgot, and I don't know if I'll do it today. I mean, you got time, man. It doesn't come out until, Friday. So you could even post it on Friday, and you would still probably be ahead of the pack on some of us. 3D movie cinema. What's going on, Jake? Thanks for being here, my friend. Hey, Zach, what's up, my guy? Great to see you. Great to see you, love, man. Ryan and the guys say hi as well as we were shooting Talking Gotham tonight. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, you guys are great. I really enjoyed doing the collab with you guys on Scooby-Doo. Thanks again for having me on. And go check them out, guys. 3D movie cinema, the Small Zero crew. Go check out their stuff. Collective Movie Man says the last 3 episodes of Andor are mind-blowing. They're so realistic to our world today. I gotta get to them. And I will. But I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. It didn't hook me the same way. Fox Gamer says, I felt that way about season 1 of Andor. It's a good show, don't get me wrong, but it felt super slow. Yeah, that's fair. I heard a lot of people say that about season 1, and I didn't necessarily get bothered by that, but for some reason, season 2, it's just not hitting for me. Toxic Gamer says, have you seen Goofy Movie? If so, what are your thoughts? It's my favorite animated movie of all time and my 10th favorite movie of all time. Wow, that's high praise. praise. I didn't grow up with a Goofy movie. I watched it for the first time in like my teenage years, so it didn't really click for me all that well. I enjoyed it well enough. Some of the music was fun, but it's not one that I hold in that high of a regard. But that's awesome for you, man. I know a lot of people love that. My wife loves that movie. Nathan John Movie says, "Don't worry, Andor season 2, episodes 7 to 12, last two arcs of the film are actual masterpieces." All right, gotta get through 2 more episodes, and then we can get to some masterpieces. Liam Pritchard, what's going on, Liam? Thanks for joining, my friend. Great to see you in here. He says, "Hey Zach, at work, so I can only do this one. How's your family, and how keen are you for cinema next year?" My family is great, man. Thank you so much for asking. We're all healthy. We're all having good times, and our little boy is just bringing so much joy to the whole family. As far as my thoughts on cinema next year, cannot wait. There's so much. It kind of reminds me of the year of 2023. Now, 2023 was like, it got to a point where it was like every weekend was a new big blockbuster that I was anticipating. And there's a lot of moments in next year that look like they have that same kind of thing going on. So, I mean, I'm super excited for next year. Let's see here. Pop says Livewire is a female Superman villain. So maybe not Jim Carrey. Let's go with Kristen. Nope, not Kristen Wiig. She already did Wonder Woman. Let's do Kate McKinnon. Let's do Kate McKinnon. Let's just go through the female Ghostbuster roster. Toxic Gamer says, if you had to pick one of these, which would you choose? Chris Stuckmann goes back to reviewing movies like The Old Way, or he collabs again with the Flick Pick. Collabing with the Flick Pick, man. Those were my favorite videos to watch. I'll still go back and watch the Flick Pick give a tour of Chris Stuckmann's man cave every once in a while. I loved their friendship. I thought they were great together. I want them to do more things again. I don't know if they're still friends. That's not for me to know. That's personal stuff for them. But I want them to go back together. Toxic Gamer says, have you seen One Battle After Another yet? If so, what are your thoughts? Have not, but really want to. It sounds great, and I love Leonardo DiCaprio. He's getting Oscar buzz for that too. Here are my top 15 movies of the year so far. Number 1, Superman. This is Collector Movie Man. Number 2, Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. Number 3, F1. 4, Sinners. 5, Roofman. I'm hearing great things about Roofman. I really want to see that too. Naked Gun with Liam Neeson. 7, Ballerina. 8, One Battle After Another. 9, The Long Walk. 10, Fantastic Four: First Steps. Nice, it made your top 10. Can we finish that off, or we'll come back to that. Toxic Gamer says, what are your thoughts of these fan casts for the DCU? Brandon Skellner as Batman, Mason Thames as Nightwing. That's an interesting one. And Adria Arjona as Wonder Woman. I'm not too familiar with Brandon Skellner. How do you even say that? Skellner. But Mason Thames as Nightwing. That's an interesting one. I'd be into that. But I like the Adrian Arjona as Wonder Woman. I like that one a lot. I'd be down for that. Collective Movie Man says, how do you feel about Warner Brothers selling the company? And did you hear by next year of April, Warner Brothers will be sold off? And so far, Netflix has made a bid on it, and Paramount Plus. Yeah, I'm keeping my ear to the ground a bit on that one. I don't have like business inside knowledge and stuff, so I don't really know. I do know that Warner Brothers was owned by AT&T, and then Discovery bought it, and that's David Zaslav now. And there was rumors when he bought it that he was just buying so that he could kind of flip it and sell it for more money. So it's not too surprising that he's selling it. I don't know how I feel. I know how I feel about Netflix getting it. I do not want Netflix to get Warner Brothers. I think that would be terrible, because Netflix and the other streamers that are looking, but primarily Netflix that are looking at buying Warner Brothers, they just want the catalog for their streaming service. They don't care about making theatrical films or anything like that. I think Netflix would be the worst case scenario. Paramount's interesting. There's some hesitations I have with Paramount buying it for sure. But they're really gunning for it, man. They're really gunning for it. It does look like Paramount wants it the most. So it's interesting. We'll see what happens. Let's see here. Collective Movement says Netflix only wants the movie portion, not the TV portion. Yeah, because they want that catalog. Toxic Gamer says, who do you think is gonna buy Warner Brothers? I do think it's gonna be Paramount. If not Paramount, the only other company I think that could really realistically buy them is Apple. And I think Apple has collaborated with them on films in the past, so they already have kind of a relationship. But, you know, that guy at Paramount, I think, like, Ellison or whatever his name is, he's like the second richest man in the world. He wants it. He's a big movie geek, I hear. So I do think they're gunning for it the most, and I do think he'll probably be the one that gets it. Collect Movie Man says, I think if Netflix get a hold of the movie portion, it would destroy the movie industry because they don't like to put stuff in theaters. It would definitely be the worst case scenario for Warner Brothers. I think destroying the movie industry is a little bit hyperbole, but for Warner Brothers, it would be devastating. Nathan Jenner Movie says, later today, I'll finish Gen V Season 2. The Boys over the past couple months, and I have watched through The Boys over the past couple months, and it's been quite a long journey, and I loved it. Yeah, Gen V kind of came and went. No one's really talking about it, which is surprising because I think the first season was really popular. Nathan John Movie says most overrated and underrated movie of the year. I would say Life of Chuck is underrated. Check it out. In Jurassic World, Rebirth, and Black Phone 2 are overrated. I think that Novocaine is probably underrated. I think Novocaine is probably underrated. And overrated, I'm gonna go Superman. I liked Superman. I really did like Superman. Don't get me wrong, but I do think it's a little overrated in my opinion. I'm gonna say it. Superman is overrated. It's overrated. I said it. Still, I enjoyed the movie. Fox Gamer 331 says, have you caught up on the Last of Us series? It's been 2 years of this question, and my answer is still no. I want to watch it. I really do. I do. Honestly, I totally forgot about it until you just brought it up. But no, I have not. Michael 101591, what's going on, dude? Great to see you in here. Says, hey Zach, what's your favorite films of the year? Yeah, we talked about a couple of these. Sinners is definitely up there. Thunderbolts, Novocaine, Companion still up there for me. There was a couple of other ones I mentioned that I'm totally blanking on, but yeah, there's been some really fun movies this year. What's this? Collect Movie Man says, my last 8 movies to see for the year. 1, the Springsteen movie. 2, Shelby Oaks. 3, Running Man. 4, I haven't seen the original Running Man, to be honest. 4, Knives Out, Wake Up Dead Man. I'm excited for that one. I love Knives Out. 5, Wicked Part 2. 6, Avatar Fire and Ash. 7, The Housemaid. 8, Marty Supreme. I'm hearing fantastic things about Marty Supreme. They're saying that this is Timothée Chalamet's year to win the Oscar from Marty Supreme. So I'm that's going up on my list too. I'm getting excited about that one. Nerdy with Autism says, what is the one great movie that you dislike? Again, another really good question. A really good movie that I dislike. Huh. Again, that's a thinker. I mean, it's not that often that people like a movie that is universally loved is something that I don't also love. That's a thinker. I'll have to really think about that one. Collector Movie Man says, Zach, what's your favorite movie that you're looking forward to next year besides Doomsday? Brand New Day. Haha, I know. That's a cheat. There's so much, dude, I'm looking forward to next year. Shrek 5 is on my Shrek is nostalgic, obviously, but I am excited to see what they're gonna do with Shrek 5. I'm looking forward to Scream 7. I'm looking forward to oh shoot, what's it called? Hail Mary. I think that's what it's called. Hail Mary. The Ryan Gosling Alien movie. Only because it got a ton of buzz coming out of CinemaCon, the trailer that they showed. And listening to the John Campea show every day, Robert Meyer Burnett has built that movie up so much in my mind. Because he loves the book. He actually has gone out and said that he thinks that the movie will win Best Picture next year, which is a bold statement because, I mean, for obvious reasons, it hasn't even aired yet. But and Dune Part 3 is up there too. I'm so excited to see what they do with Dune Part 3. Even though people say that the portion of the book that they're basing the third one off of isn't that great, Dune Part 2 is just so good. I'm looking forward to it. That Toxic Gamer says, what's your thoughts on Predator Badlands potentially being PG-13? It's fine. It's totally fine because this isn't a predator that is going after humans. He's on an alien planet killing aliens. So you can show alien blood and carnage and get a PG-13. It's just when you kill humans and show human blood that the restricted R rating gets put on there. But PG-13 for this Predator movie in particular, totally going to be fine. I don't have any concerns about it. Nathan Jenner Movie says, what's the most disturbing, not scariest movie you have seen? The most disturbing. Not Scariest. Um, I'm trying to think of movies that are disturbing that aren't necessarily scary. Because I've definitely seen like I don't know. I think there's a lot of disturbing elements to shoot. Why can't I remember the name of it now? Law Abiding Citizen is a movie. Like there's a scene where a character gets strapped down and like chopped up, but like the way that they describe it is just horrific. Um, Sinister is disturbing, but also just it's scary. So I guess that one can't count. I think the one that's popping into my head because of that scene is Law Abiding Citizen, but Seven is also pretty disturbing. Not the most I've ever seen, but that's also pretty disturbing. Yeah, I'll go with those for now until something more definitive jumps in my head. Laser Michael Laser, the man. He's back. You're back. I'm back. We're both back. It's great. Great to see you, Laser Michael. It says, let's go. Hey, man, how have you been? I've been doing great, man. I've been doing so good. How have you been, Michael? It's great to see you. It's great to be back with you, man. Toxic Gamer 331. I think for me, The Long Walk is easily the movie for me this year that made me tear up the most. So that's why I have it so high. I mean, that's a really good reason to have it so high, man, because when a movie hits you emotionally, I mean, Iron Claw is a movie that hit me emotionally that really sticks with me. That was from was that 2023? I think it was 2023. When a movie hits you emotionally, yeah, it definitely, those are the ones that stick with me the most, I think, too. Laser Michael says, does it feel crazy that Toy Story 5 releases in 8 months and a trailer is likely to release next month? Oh yeah, Toy Story 5. I'm looking forward to Toy Story 5. That it is crazy, actually. That kind of stuck up, especially when you say it releases in 8 months, because my son has just turned 8 months, and those 8 months flew by. So I know how fast 8 months can go, and Toy Story 5 in 8 months, that's crazy. Marvin One Joe says, do you think Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4 should be street level story, or should it be the multiverse adventure like No Way Home? Nope, street level. Street level story. You don't do multiverse, especially if you're going to be doing a big multiverse thing with Avengers Doomsday later that year. I think you do the Ant-Man approach with Spider-Man this time, where in between the Avengers films they gave us an Ant-Man film, and Ant-Man would be more grounded in street level, like a little heist film or like a little MacGuffin chase in the city type film. I don't think they're doing any more Ant-Man films, so you replace that with Spider-Man. You do a grounded Spider-Man story before we get the big bombastic multiverse story and Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. Don't do multiverse. Don't do that. Give us grounded, give us street level. And that's what I hope they're doing. Nathan Dread Movie says, will you watch Edgar Wright's The Running Man movie next month? I have plans to catch up and watch the original with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then I do want to see Running Man next month. So hopefully I can make it out for that. Yes. Two movies I'm determined to see next month are Predator Badlands and Wicked for Good. And I know I'll see Wicked for Good because my wife also wants to see it, so we'll find a babysitter night and go see that. But The Running Man is also up there. Toxic Gamer 331 says, I'm a head out now. Nice to catch up with you again, man. As always, wishing you and your family the best. Everyone have a nice rest of your day. And always remember, pizza time. Yes, man. Thank you so much for being here. It was great to catch up with you too, Toxic Gamer. I'll see you again soon. And the show is made better because you were a part of it. And I appreciate you, dude. You have a good night. All right. We're catching up. We're catching up here. Nerdy with Autism says, he's responding street level as well because the ending of No Way Home. Plus, we need a break of multiverse movies until Doomsday. Exactly what I said and completely agree. Thoughts on Fast and Furious 11 potentially getting canceled unless they cut the budget? They're not gonna cancel it. They're not gonna cancel it. That franchise. Here's what I'll say. It's all kind of industry negotiation in the public. I think that they've only released this information because both sides are in the middle of negotiations. And I actually think I saw somewhere today that they got it figured out and that they are moving forward with Fast 11. The Fast and Furious franchise has been going on for so long. It's given Universal so much money. Even the last one made $700 million, which is pretty good. The only problem was the budget was too high. So I think that Vin Diesel has too much stake in the franchise. I think he likes it too much to let it just end on that cliffhanger. I think Universal would be complete idiots to let it just end on that cliffhanger. I do think there's a lot of money to be made in a Fast and Furious 11, and they'll figure out the budget. They'll figure all this out. It's just studio negotiations and all that stuff being played in the public. I have no doubt in my mind at all that we will be seeing a Fast and Furious 11. It'd be crazy if they canceled it. It'd be crazy. That'd be like if they after Avengers Doomsday, they were like, Secret Wars is too expensive. We might not do it. You know, they're gonna do it. The Lawrence Report, what's going on? Thanks for joining, dude. He says, what's up, Zach? Are you pumped for Lanterns? Lanterns, I am very pumped for. Of all the projects next year from the DCU, I think Lanterns is my number one. I'm very curious to see what a non-gun directed and written project is going to look like in the DCU. I think Supergirl still has that tie to Superman, so it might still be. And Clayface, I'm very interested in seeing what they pull off. But as far as excitement goes, I think Lanterns is number one. Nathan John Movie says, thoughts on Jesse being the main protagonist of Toy Story 5? I mean, it's an interesting choice. I'm not going to say that it makes me more excited for Toy Story 5 that Jesse is the main character. We'll see how it turns out. She's never really been a standout character to me, to be honest with you. So, does it heighten my excitement? No. Does it lessen my excitement? No. I'm sure Woody and Buzz and all those people are still going to be in there. You could argue that Toy Story 2 is kind of a Jessie movie in the story that she goes through. So maybe it'll be something like that with Toy Story 5. But yeah, we'll see how it turns out. I'm not too concerned. Collective Movie Man says my number one movie that I'm looking forward to next year is The Odyssey. Oh yeah, The Odyssey. How did I forget to mention The Odyssey? The Odyssey is up there as well. Laser Michael says, happy your family's doing great, man. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that. Nathan John Movie says Man of Steel or Superman 2025. Man of Steel. I'm still gonna go with Man of Steel. It's also Man of Steel has the age on Superman. Like, I'll be honest, Superman is a fun kind of watch, but it doesn't strike me as like one that I'll be going back to over and over and over again. At least in my opinion. Whereas Man of Steel, I still go back to that every once in a while, and I've watched it so many. Like, it came out in 2013, so I almost have what is that, like 15 years? No, a decade. I definitely have a decade. Oh, it's 12 years. I have like 12 years of watching Man of Steel over Superman, which I've watched twice in 1 year. So for now, Man of Steel is still my favorite. Like the Movie Man says, I personally think Jurassic World Rebirth is just one big pile of crap. I wasn't thrilled with it, to be honest. It wasn't really hooking me when I watched half of it. So we'll see how the second half does. But yeah, it's not great. Like the Movie Man says, Shrek 5 got delayed till 2027. Ah, crap. Did it really? I missed that. All right. Well, more time to make the movie great, I guess. Amari sorry, man, I butchered your name. Amari Points, thanks for joining, man. It's great to see you in here. Great to see you back. He says, what's up, Zach? What's good, man? It's going good, man. It's been great. I'm having so much fun with you guys. It's so good to be back. And again, I gotta just say, so many of you guys are regulars that have been part of the show for so many years, and to see that the first show we're technically back on, and so many of you guys are here, thank you guys so much. It warms my heart, makes me feel so good and loved, and I just appreciate it so much, guys. Like the Movie Man says, hey Zach, if it works out, I would like to have you on a live stream that I'm doing for my birthday. It's either going to be before my birthday or after my birthday is in December. Hit me up on Instagram, man. Let's talk. Amari Point says, how's life treating you? It's treating me pretty well. I forgot to mention that I had a birthday 2 days ago. I've aged 27 years old. So I'm a little bit older. I'm a little bit wiser. And, well, maybe not too much wiser, but being a dad definitely makes me feel older. So I'm older and I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. It's treating me well. Like the Movie Man says, but the live stream I'll probably do around 9:30 because there's 3 people who I'm gonna invite who live on the West Coast, and there are 3-hour time difference for me. Is that 9:30 p.m. and is that Pacific Standard Time or Eastern Standard Time, or what kind of standard? If it's 9:30 p.m., I'm not gonna be available. I'll say that for sure. Laser Michael says, do you think Disney will have a big year in 2026 with films like Avengers, Toy Story, Moana, and Mandalorian? Yes. Because you also, well, I guess Brand New Day is more so Sony, but still, yeah, those are huge movies that will be huge for Disney. They're gonna have a fantastic year. They're gonna have a huge. I don't know how well Mandalorian is gonna do, but Avengers Doomsday alone, and Toy Story 5 will make up for the day. Amari says, do you have the Fantastic Four First Step Steelbook? No, not yet. I forgot that it came out already. I gotta pick that up on physical. Amari says, aren't you going to see Zootopia 2? I want to make it out for Zootopia 2. I might make it out. I'll be honest, it's not on my radar. Like, I know it's coming, but I never think of it when I think of what's coming at the end of the year. And I really enjoy the first Zootopia. It just hasn't been one that I'm like super excited for. I need to see like a really good trailer for it. Laser Michael says, do you see the first look of Toy Story 5 on the Pixar official website? I've never been to the Pixar official website, so no, I have not. Nathan John Movie says, have you seen The Studio from Seth Rogen? It is absolutely hilariously funny, especially the Kool-Aid casting episode. Surprised Hollywood greenlit a show making fun of themselves. I have watched it. I do agree. It's hilarious. There are so many great inside baseball jokes in it, and the Kool-Aid casting episode was phenomenal. It was so. I also really, really enjoyed the Golden Globes episode. I thought that one was fantastic. Yeah, I they're doing season 2, right? Because I want to see more of that show. I thought it was great. You guys aren't letting me go. We're still going. Let's see here. Britain, where are we at? Collective Movie Man says, Zach, one question I wanted to ask. What did you think of the actress playing Supergirl? Her very first big role in the United States was House of the Dragon. She's an Australian actress. Small sample size in Superman. I can honestly say that's the only thing I've ever seen her in. But the small sample size that she had, I thought that she was, funny as a drunk party girl. I don't know. I think she has the look, and it sounds like she's got the acting credibility. Those are really high profile projects that she's been in. I think she's gonna be great. I really think she's gonna be great. I just wonder what the character direction is gonna be after her little drunk episode at the end of Superman. Amari Point says, would you ever go to the Avengers Doomsday red carpet premiere if you were invited? Yeah. Invite me. I'll come. Invite me, Disney. That's all that's stopping me right now is I haven't been invited. I'll totally come if I'm invited. See, that's the problem. I can't go because I haven't invited me. We've solved the problem. Invite me. I will go. Amari Point says, just wait until you hit 30s, you feel old. Yeah, I'm close. I'm close. Collective Movement says, you're still young to me. I'm gonna be 40 in 3 years. Hey man. That's the 40's the new 20. Is that what people say? That's what I'm saying. Laser Michael says, does it also feel crazy that Toy Story turns 30 next month and it's still going with a 5th film? And Andrew Stanton said, we can't wait to keep bringing these stories to you, meaning 5 is not the end. Money will never make it end. It's crazy because, I mean, like, in the sense, it's like, wow, 30 years. But at the same time, I wasn't alive for those whole 30 years. So it's kind of crazy to think of, like, I remember watching it when, like, on VHS when I was, like, 4 years old. And it's crazy that I'm 27. And I guess when I turn 28, I'll be going to see a Toy Story movie still, like from the age of 4 to 28. I'll be seeing. That's bizarre to think. I'll still be watching Toy Story. My wife just checking this because making sure she's okay. Yeah, she's okay. We're wrapping up. We're almost done. But yeah, no, it's crazy that I'm still watching Toy Story all these years later. That's what's crazy. Let's see here. We're wrapping up with Amari Point saying, are you excited for Minecraft movie 2? Not really. I didn't like the first Minecraft all that much. They got so lucky that movie became a meme and people latched on to Chicken Jockey and all that stuff. I don't know if Minecraft 2 is going to do what Minecraft 1 did, but it wasn't really a movie for me. Although I did laugh at a number of parts, I will admit. I guess I don't dislike the movie, but I'm not going to be watching it over and over and over. So I'm not super excited for Minecraft 2. Laser Michael says, I'm not ready to be 30 years old. I don't think anyone's ever ready. It just happens to us, right? But you'll survive. We'll get through it. Amari Point says, if you go to Avengers Doomsday, invite me. You got it, man. If they invite me, I'll invite you. That's a deal. Collective Movie Man says, well, gonna let you go, Zach. I don't want message you a lot because I know you're probably tired and you got stuff to do. Nah, man, it's all good. I just gotta jump off and take care of the baby with my wife. But I appreciate you being here, man, so much. Thank you so much for being here. The show was made better because you were a part of it, and I appreciate you. Let's see here. Last ones. Amari Point says, "Did you see my movie review for Tron Ares yet?" No, I didn't watch any reviews for Tron Ares. Wasn't really interested in Tron Ares. Knew I wasn't gonna go see it. Laser Michael says, "I'm gonna head out. Hope you have a great dinner and time with family, man." You too, dude. And thank you so much for being here. It was so great reconnecting with you. Show was made better because you were a part of it, and I appreciate you, dude. You have a good night. And finally, Collective Movie Man says, "I hope you have a good night and hope the rest of your family is doing good and hope they have a good night and enjoy the movies if you get to go see a movie." Thank you so much, man. Likewise to you and your own. And with that, guys, we did it. We have successfully finished the first episode back on Zach Milne Talks Live. I want to thank each and every one of you so much for being here. Sorry for some of the hiccups and stuff that we had. Couldn't bring the questions up on the screen. We will get that fixed for next time. When will next time be? I don't know. But we are back. We'll be back regularly from now on, and it's going to be a lot of just live Q&A community nights. So I'm super excited to get back into this. I'm super excited to keep chatting with you all. Friday, we have Final Destination ranking dropping, so keep your eyes open for that. With that said, guys, thank you all for being here. I've been Zach Milne. Did I used to say that? I don't remember, but here's something I now say. Don't just watch movies, talk movies. See you guys next time. Take care.